Hello, everybody, and welcome. We are back for another wonderful West Coast Wednesday where we are shooting them up and shooting fast. We are at the track of Suzuka right now, and we are having a bloody good time, everybody. Having a great time. I hope you are all here enjoying yourselves as well. And notification. There we go. Notification that we are getting some double audio. Thank you very much for the correction. Really appreciate it. But we're at the track of Suzuka, and let's get right into it, and we'll start talking about how the drivers have been doing and what they have been up to this season of GT3 racing. Thank you very much, everybody in chat. Thank you very much for being here. Love the support, love the help that I could get, because God knows that I need it. Plus, I thought I was going to get scolded for the pew 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 comment, but let's go straight into the live race, everybody. You got Mateus Porta doing a 2-minute .7 right now. To the next nearest person is K. Moss with a 2-minute .9, 2-minute .1 for Jace Wright. Curtis Rustin up on the board with another 2-minute .8, 2-minute 8.55 for Mr. Hirsch. Tarakov's got a 2-minute 1 second .9. And then holding the gates back from the 202s is Mr. DeBual, and he's got Neil Kerbel, Stefani, Perchalski, Worley, Wicks, Camacho all on his tail, as it looks like Curtis Rustin goes up to the 2-minute .1835 into 6th place. Austin Carter stopped somewhere on track, and he's got to go back to the pits. Oh, thank gosh Logan started. I appreciate the humor, sir. And everything looks neat and tidy for some of these drivers. Let's get talking about, excuse me, where the drivers have been posting their time so far. We see Porta's got a 1:59 under his belt. Curtis Rustin with a 2-minute .4 in the practice servers, of course. And Rivera, Hirsch, Stefani, the other Hirsch. So we've got Dennis Hirsch, and we've got Kyle Hirsch, if I'm not mistaken, and we've got K. Moss. We've got 7 drivers there in the sub 2-minute or sub categories, with Porta running quite away with it. And then speaking of running away with it, we have Ricardo Rivera, who's been running away with this championship right now. And round 1, he went 1 for 1, taking home 2 wins. In round 2, he got 1 win. And 3, he took 1 and 1 again for 126 points. Mattia Porta, he has 112 points to his name, with one third place and everything else being a second place. Jace Wright's kind of been bouncing all over the place. 6th, 8th, then 12th, then 3rd, then 10th for his 81 points. But Jake Wells is hot as on his heels with 80 points himself. 76.5 to Kyle Hirsch. Then we've got Tarakov, Wee, Gola, Gertson, Eric Kassian rounding out the top 10 of this championship right now, everybody. And as you can tell by the track map, it is quite packed and hectic out on track right now. Awfully busy for some folks. Trying to find some clean air is going to be one of the hardest things to do. Great rundown song is playing. Okay. I hope so. And back to the action. I apologize for any funky beat music you guys may have heard for a short moment. Yeah, of course. Can you guys tell? I better rub my copper penny up against my shirt to get some good luck. I'm gonna need it. Where's Lincoln when you need him, huh? Gosh darn it, he was only here on Mondays. He hasn't shown up for West Coast Wednesdays yet. We've got 31 drivers registered for this event right now. 31 drivers in this event right now, and I think we have over 55 registered, so got a few people that are skipping out on one of the best tracks in the world. Suzuka being one of the only tracks that actually has a figure 8 that passes over itself, and inspired by a Dutchman, actually. Designed by the same person that designed Zandvoort, if I'm not mistaken, and one other track. Not Kyalami. The gentleman had designed Zandvoort and Yas Marina That's what it was. Of course, Yas Marina. The original Yas Marina, though, not the new one. Qualifying just finishing up. Everybody's going to get one last time once they cross the line, or they cross the line, and that's going to be it for them, excuse me. And the track is owned by Honda and operated by the Mobility Land Corporation, a subsidiary of Honda. No, he did not design Zandvoort. You're going to have to argue with my friend ChatGPT as Jake Tyrrell is racing someone to the line. And who is that? Was that Wee he was next to in the 46? They're racing before the race even got started, it looks like. The 4876 and the 487. Let me see who those drivers are. 876, Giovanni Wee, that sure was, who got into it with the other driver. Curtis Rustin trying to do his best to get around the chicane as hard, or the hairpin as neatly as possible. Oh, then blame ChatGPT. You wrong. You wrong, girl. Ricardo Rivera with a 158.9. That's the best. Luke Lizama with a 159 too. If I'm not mistaken, Luke Lizama is actually a commentator, or maybe his brother is. Livery of the 47 uploaded. Josh Worley. Two, if you want a full breakdown of the origins of the Batman Giant Penny, check YouTube. There's a video for everything. Thank you very much, Adam Strange. 47. I may not have grabbed your livery properly. I apologize, Squatchmonger. I did download them. Hopefully, I did it right. No, his fun fact has not been ignored. No way. Not in any time, not on this stream. Not when he paid a couple copper pennies for it. Curtis Rustin gets to the line. Is he going to improve? He is in 9th place right now. He is going to hold on to a better position. That is P4 for Mr. Rustin. Wow, bumps Curtis Moss back by just a 10th or 2. And Dean Stefani at the line as well. And let's take a brief moment to talk to our... Back over to the live screen. Let's go ahead and start our quick grid walk, as we won't have too much time to get this one done. In first place, we've got Ricardo Rivera in P1. And then we've got Luke Lozama following right behind in the Mustang in the number 11 car. Then we've got Mattia Porta in third place, the championship leader right now. Or excuse me, no, he is not. Curtis Rustin in the 868. Curtis Moss in the 823. Pirachowski in the sixth place right now. We've got Hirsch in seventh place. We've got Jake Wright in eighth place. We've got Tarakov in ninth place. Neil Kerbel in 10th place with the Lonely Lexus in the 395. Dean Stefani in the 877. Patrick Dubois in the 87, rocking that scarred livery. The McDonald's car for Austin Carter. Darren Wicks is going to be driving the 46 GTR. Potts Weaver in the McLaren. Jay Worley is going to be driving the 47. Eric Gakassian in the number 5. Devin Anthony in the 52. A. Kelly's in the number 7. Souzo in the 213, and then we got Freeman in the number 14, Camacho in the 77, Professor Kronotis in the 23rd position. Burritos is going to be in the 24th position. Jay Chan in 25, Mr. Julian is in 26, Carson Kass is in a Lexus in 27th. But we got to go ahead and snap over to the lead of the race real quick. Enough of that. No Hondas, unfortunately. No, not this race. And taking it away is Ricardo Rivera leading us to the line. How did it go? Pretty well, neat and tidy. We have a little side-by-side in the background of Curtis Rustin getting around K. Moss, it looks like. Holding on to those positions 2x2 in the background. It looks all neat and tidy going back. Hopefully, everybody's going to stay clean, and it looks like Neil Kerbel's trying to go around the outside of Tarakov. Can't make it happen. Tips the wheel off into the grass. Holds on barely, but Tarakov now goes through on him. A BMW gaining position right off the line, and that was Hirsch in the Mercedes. A little bump in the rump there, it looks like, for Tarakov from Kerbel. And let's take a look back at the front. Curtis Rustin chasing down Mattia Porta in the Mustang in front, and everything looks nip and tuck right now, front to back, side to side. A little change for position out in the back. 20th and 19th position as who's off in the background. Alex Freeman's off in the background as he tumbles down the order, and Kyle Hirsch is not doing so well. Looks like Carson Kass gets spun around into the wall almost, and Kyle Hirsch is now next to Giovanni Wee. Note that's going to be Alex Freeman who goes backwards on the inside of the long hairpin. Can he hold on deep on the brakes? No contact made, thank goodness, between those two drivers. That was a lunge, to say the least. Jake Terrell right now getting, crisscross applesauce with Anthony Camacho. No harm, no foul there. Giovanni Wee looking in the background in the 46 Team WRT liveried car, trying to find any opportunities that can help him out on this early lap one. We're about to have a pass for position. It looks like Anthony Camacho is getting side by side with Christian Julian right now around the outside. Can he do it? No, makes a mistake, but then goes way off track, has to slow down. It looks like Camacho is through. Darren Wicks also loses out to Potts Weaver as Potts Weaver goes forward in the number 13 into 14th place. Taking a look at the leaders again, Luke Lozama is about 4/10ths back from the leader of Ricardo Rivera. They're making that Mustang really do some work here on that McLaren. Surprise, surprise that this Mustang is doing so well through these twisty bits. Oh, a little wiggle there from Luke Lozama. And another change of position back here between Darren Wicks and Potts Weaver, it looks like. Darren Wicks in the GTR looking neat and tidy, but holding back the rest of this pack behind him. Taking a look at the lap times, a 2:10.8 for him, to everybody else being a little bit faster than he was. So he's a little caught out of position with his pants around his ankles right now as people are lurking behind him, trying to get a move past at any opportunity that they could find. Everybody looking neat and tidy. Suzuka's one of those lovely long tracks that gives you enough breath of fresh air to really stretch your legs and find your own groove. Of course, we do have the one mandatory pit stop here. 1 liter mandatory of fuel taking place for these drivers. We'll have to see how this plays out at this tricky Suzuka circuit. I think a lot of the drivers might not opt to take tires at this point, unless they've incurred some sort of damage in which they've stopped early. Has anybody taken their first stop? No, not yet. Everybody seems to have done extremely well on this lap 1. And this is what I keep on talking about on these Tracklicious streams, is how everybody is just growing into their own at this point. Everybody is really just getting comfortable with each other, the racecraft, these close side-by-side racing moments, and they're really showing. Everybody getting off to this start neat and tidy. That's really, really exciting to see. A couple of small touches in the ruckus, but nothing to write home about. Oh, let's take a look at this sandwich between Terekov, Hirsch, and Kerbal. Terekov's the one that got past Kerbal on that lap 1, where Kerbal had just snipped a wheel off into the grass. Oh, there's a big tank slapper! And he manages to recover, but that's going to slow down his efforts and getting a little bit out of touch with Hirsch in front. Kerbal couldn't act on it, was still looking for that one glistening moment, that one opportunity to make something happen right now. Jace Wright also chasing down the pink Pierzowski car. On board with Jace Wright, looking at Pierzowski. Deep on the brakes, falling offline just a little bit. On the accelerator a little bit early. Can he get a run at it? I think he just might. McLaren on McLaren action right now, folks. Coming out of the hairpin through 200R and on their way to Spoon. On the inside, there he goes. A little bit of door banging as he drifts a little too wide. And Jace Wright goes through on Hirsch, but I think he's going to be a gentleman and let that position come right on back. Apparently not, just kidding. All's fair in love and racing. Might have felt like he got turned in on a little bit there. And here is Eric DeBosca-Cossian getting chased down by Mr. Kelly. Is the battle for 17th and 18th up on the board right now. Take a look at Terekov in 9th place right now as he trickles down the order. Trickles up the order, I should say. And this is Anthony Kelly chasing down Gakasian again. Trying to go around the outside of what looks like to be the first corner now. Chasing him down the first corner, doesn't have anything to say about that. That's gone. Let's see Devin Anthony make a move on the inside of Alex Freeman. Is he going to hold on? Oh, there's quite a bit of overlap there, but Devin Anthony doesn't have enough room. He does have enough room. They're side by side after the first quarter and into the snake. Is the McLaren going to be able to pull out in front? I think he will. And who's that in the background? That might be Wee, who went off track in the 876. No, he's the 463. That's Terrell falling down the order right now. And they both get through on the Lamborghini, who's falling down the order. And this is going to be Giovanni Wee in the BMW. And what happened to Terrell there? The 463. Let's take a quick look at what happened. Get back over to the live screen. Curtis Moss chasing down Mr. Rustin right now, and Luke Lozama still in touch with Ricardo Rivera up in front. Only 3/10 of drift right now, and gaining by the looks of it. Gaining indeed on the inside. Let's see if he's going to make a move. He's there alongside hub to hub. He's going to have to demand some track room, but the McLaren gets a little tap around the outside, and it looks like Luca Lozama has that place secured. What a move. Luke Lozama putting work down on Ricardo Rivera. Ricardo Rivera won't give up that easy, though. He's going to tuck in line for now. Act like everything's okay. Maybe give a little bit of a flashy there, as we saw, but he's going to stay nip and tuck throughout all these fast sections and wait until his moment arises during the slow bit of Spoon, I could only imagine. Here's Terakov right now, chasing Daniel Hirsch, and still tracing is Neil Kerbel. Neil Kerbel in the Lexus livery, purple and blue from behind. Really good on the brakes there for the 395. Nice and timid on the accelerator, though, and the BMW is just going to take off on him, unfortunately. Purple lap right now is a 159.522. That's made by Luke Lozama out in front to 159.547. To Ricardo Rivera on the inside goes Terrell, and I think that might be on Devin Anthony side by side, the 463 and the number 52 going neck and neck right now. Around 200 R side by side. A lot of respect from these drivers right now, and into Spoon we go. Holding on, does the Lamborghini go a little deep? No, but Devin Anthony was hoping that he would. Daniel Hirsch in the number 48, chasing down Pirochelski. Had a little bit of a slowdown just a moment ago. Flashy from the headlights from the 8th place position of Daniel Hirsch, trying to make that McLaren think that he's up to no good. But he won't scare that easily, says the pink Pirochelski. Neil Kerbel throwing a little bit of pocket sand at the drivers behind, trying to distract them. Pocket sand again from Neil Kerbel, as he really tries to distract the drivers behind and scare people into an accident. And the number 5 of Eric the Boss Kassian is off. Let's see what happened to Eric the Boss Kass. Heads up driving by the boss to not get involved with anybody else out here. Luke Lozama has pulled out a 1-second gap between himself and Ricardo Rivera, as Jake Terrell is getting chasing down Alex Freeman right now. Nose to tail even, as Jake Terrell has the Raging Bull on his hood. Trying to go for the inside of the hairpin. Can he make a move happen? No! Kuzya Terakov right now. Oh, well, let's look at Curtis Moss real quick. K. Moss, the man from Jamaica, in the 823, chasing down the pro of Curtis Rustin in the 868. Everything looking nip and tuck right here, right now. What about Darren Wicks in the GTR, chasing down Potts Weaver? Nothing told right now. Here's the battle for the top 10 positions. Hirsch, Terakov, Kerbel still rages on. These guys can't get away from each other. Times are right now 2-minute point 16 for Hirsch, 2-minute point 1807 for Terakov, 2-minute point 6 for Kerbel. He's trying to find a way around Terakov right now. He might just need to back off and regain his rhythm. And Pirochelski in the pink cars dipped out of this conversation. 2/10 back is Curtis Moss taking a look at this Lamborghini, trying to make a move happen. I think he will make a move happen here in just a moment. Might have a run on this Lambo going into Spoon. Not quite yet, Mr. Moss. Oh, there's a little bit of a deep lunge from the Lamborghini, but Mr. Moss does not follow him through, not whatsoever, as he stays on the ideal line. Eric Boskakassian into the pits right now. We see Carson Kass into the pits, Julius Tan, Burritos, Devin Anthony, Christian, oh, excuse me, that's not right. Nobody else is taking a pit right now other than Worley, Hirsch, Gakassian, Lombardo. There goes Terakov side by side with the Mercedes of the 48, trying to get through. Neil Kerbel has to check up in the 395. Really just rode the brakes right there. And boy, because that's as he's going into the pits. Man, Neil Kerbel's got to be livid with that one as he figures that out. He got slowed down by quite a bit there. And now he has to put in some work to catch up to Mr. Hirsch out in front. That's a 1 second gap he's got to do. Terakov into the pit. Carter's into the pits right now. Kronotis, Kelly, Suazo, Wicks, Weaver all go forward. Patrick Dubois chasing down to Dean Stefani. Not Gwen, Dean Stefani. Dean Stefani sitting on a 20-second penalty anyways right now. And Darren Wicks with his 10-second penalty, the only ones that I can tell. Everybody's finding their rhythm, finding their groove right now. Not a lot of action, a lot of 1 second gaps between the drivers right now. Devin Anthony is the closest out on track with Daniel Burritos chasing really close behind. And it looks like Austin Carter is coming out of the pits right now. No harm, no foul there. Here's Devin Anthony trying to chase down Christian Julian. Let's get on board and see what the action looks like. Oh, that's a huge run he's going to have on this BMW. This battle might be over between Devin Anthony and Christian Julian. Around the outside he goes. Inside, outside line. Really put the stinker on that one to make it work. Curtis Rustin and Kay Moss now getting through right now. Looks like they're all neat and tidy at the chicane. Curtis Rustin, though, still chasing down Mr. Moss. The 868 chasing down the 823. Here goes Dean Stefani trying to make something happen on Neil Kerbel after he already got past Mr. Dubois. Positions gained right now. The biggest winner is going to be Mr. Sauzo. Oh, excuse me, Giovanni Wee with 11 positions gained. He started in 30th position and is all the way up to 19th position right now. Suazo is gained 6 positions, and it looks like everybody else is pretty orderly. Christian Julian has gained 5 to his name. Jace Wright's gained 2, Kay Moss has gained 1, and Luke Lazama has gained 1 on the pole man himself of Mattia Porta. Mr. Dubois isn't going to settle down for Gwen Stefani right now. He's chasing him hard, chasing him fast. Is the number 12 coming out of pits? No, the number 12 just had an accident really quickly. Couple people going off there. The 77 stopped on track with a 32. Let's take a look at what happened there. Everything looks all right for now. Whoa! Big old collection there. The big old collection can getting out there. And man, just blinded by that corner. Had nowhere to go, it must have been. Carson Kass is now into the pits. I believe this is going to be a second pit stop of the race now in the number 32 Lexus. Austin Carter teleporting to the pits right now after having a collision. Luke Lizama checking out right now, but not too well as he runs into back markers in front of him. Number 28th position, that's Eric Kassian. No, that's not Eric Kassian. Who is that they just got around? Doesn't matter at this point. They got through, but that really knocked down the lead that Luke Lizama had that was at 1.2 seconds down to 0.5 seconds as they just got through the snake. Wowza. Traffic giveth, traffic taketh away. Didn't expect to see it so early on in this race, but a couple of drivers taking to alternate strategies. And I guess we are already 26 minutes in, so who am I to say what really is the best strategy? And man, that Mustang really almost got loose on the exit of the hairpin. And I thought that was it for Luke Lizama, and Ricardo Rivera was going to pounce like a snow leopard. Here's Patrick DeBow chasing down Dean Stefani. If he said he don't want no drama. No drama. Taking a look back at the lead. Get on board with Ricardo Rivera for just a moment. Taking a look forward. Oh man, just yeets it over the curb now. Trying to eat of it as much as possible, trying to stay as close as possible and into the pits. They both decide to make the move at the exact same time. And who did it better? I don't know, between Lizama and Rivera, but they both wanted to step into the pits as quickly as they could. Here goes Darren Wicks looking at Potts Weaver right now. And it looks like Darren Wicks has a little wiggle. No, Potts Weaver has the big wiggle. Darren Wicks is going to go through side by side, and it's done before the final hairpin. And that McLaren is yeeting it over the chicane curbs, trying to go in. Can't do anything about it. These drivers both have not taken their pit stops quite yet. Potts Weaver chasing down Darren Wicks again, trying to get that position made. I see you with the flashy headlights, Mr. Wicks. Good to see you, brother. Giovanni Wee chasing down Mr. Freeman. No, not that Freeman. Around the outside, Charlie gonna go side by side. No, they won't. Nip and tuck, nose to tail right now. A little switchback got engaged though from that BMW who's really trying to make it work. Giovanni Wee bringing out his legs, showing that McLaren who can really turn in the twisty bits. Wowza. Almost had it done full stop. Ricky's just hanging out, hanging around. He will make the pass happen soon. Ricky Martin? Which Ricky are we talking about, eh? What part of Puerto Rico you from, man? Giovanni Wee, 2 tenths back, from Mr. Freeman right now, and Philip Sozo's about 3 tenths back from Mr. Potts Weaver. K. Moss is about 6 seconds back from Mattia Porta up at the front of the grid right now, though. And where did they come out? Camacho, Luke Lizama, Ricardo Rivera. Whoa! You were saying Ricardo Rivera's got a 4.4 second gap to Luke Lizama right now. Wow. Ricardo Rivera had a 4 second longer pit stop time. I wonder what happened there. Wow. Mr. Hirsch going into the pits right now. Neil Kerbel's still hanging out there. Giovanni Wee chasing down Mr. Freeman. Not Morgan Freeman, just Mr. Freeman to you. And this is Mr. DeBow chasing down Dean Stefani. The 87 chasing down his older brother, the 877. Doing a good job staying nip and tuck. Front splitter cam for you to get the glimpse of the tarmac as Mr. DeBow chases down Dean Stefani. Still holding on to that 20-second penalty right now. But maybe Mr. DeBow just knows that, hey, I don't have to really do any work here. This position's mine anyways. We're both catching. some of the other drivers out in front. They're running around the same time. Patrick Dubois got a 2-minute 2:01.9 to his name and a 2:02.3 for Stefani's. But their bests are about identical, just a tenth separating them, about a 2:01.4. Ricky Racing, aka Rivera. I raced with him last 3 seasons, ZRL with him. Very nice. Glad to see that there's some fans out here, because he's racing the Vida Loca. That is the last Ricky Martin joke I will make tonight. I am so sorry. I am so sorry, Ricardo. If you're here, I apologize. Mattia Porta is into the pits. K. Moss is into the pits. And Vague's asking for an AMG top 5. Just one AMG in the top 5. Well, looks like Mr. Hirsch might be able to do some work for you, but it's going to be a big stretch to make sure he holds on. He's being chased down by quite some fast people, but he has already taken his pit stop right now, so everything in front of him will be positive positions gained overall. No, you love it. You love it, Travis Bartle attack. You love the Ricky Martin jokes. Now, just for that, I'm not going to stop. Keep push and pull your slipstream. Racing the Vida Loca. I'm sorry, Mike. I am so sorry. Mike Pierchowski chasing down Mr. Hirsch, but here's Curtis Rusted in first place right now, getting around some lap traffic. Jace Wright, Dean Stefani, both of them are into the pits. Julius Chan goes forward. Alex Freeman went into the pits himself. Jace Wright coming out right now, actually. Professor Chronotis, we haven't said anything about Mr. Chronotis this night. He's in 16th place, back in the 42, excuse me. This is Julius Tan getting chased down by Jace Wright for CrowdStrike Plus Odyssey Racing. So close, these margins between these drivers. It's unbelievable how well they're able to do this through the snake. So close to each other, going a little bit off kilter. Look at the millimeters that separate these two cars right now. Making a move towards the outside. Is it going to be enough to make a scare happen? Switchback engaged. Jace Wright goes through on Julius Tan. What a clinic. What a move! That's how you get it run done coming out of the first sector. Wowza. Just such high-level intelligence of a play right there. Absolutely phenomenal to see. Devin Anthony having a bit of an incident. Let's take a look back and see what happened to him real quick. Oh, just a big off right there as he went into the grass. Man, Tank Slapper City. And it looks like everything is all settled down. Just kidding. Mason Pierchowski trying to get around Daniel Hirsch right now, side by side into the final chicane. And it looks like Mason Pierchowski is going to go backwards and Daniel Hirsch is going to gain that position for sure. Well played. Uh-oh. It's not over between Hirsch and Pierchowski, though. Making a look on the inside of the first corner. Nothing doing there. Devin Anthony now with some damage, getting chased down by Daniel Burritos. This is the Hirsch-Pierchowski battle all over again. Yellow flags for the 77 out there on track, but he seems to be moving in the right direction. Luke Lizama's about to inherit P1 again, as Neil Kerbel has not done his pit stop yet in that 395 in that lovely Lexus, but everybody else has. 16 and a half minutes left on the clock. Man, this race has flown by. Unbelievable. Hope you are all enjoying this as much as I have, because this has been a humdinger of a ceremony. If anybody is wondering, Mason Pierachowski has beaten Jake Wells at Bathurst, because that's his team name. Almost getting run to the back of him. That's Suzo. And that's not Worley, is it? No. That must be a back marker in front of him. That must be the 40. No, that is Worley in front, incurring a little bit of damage. That's right. Because Worley, Dr. Sasquatch, wanted me to check for his livery, and it did not get it so far. The 213 chasing down the 47, bouncing around on the exit of the curves. And can he keep it together at 100R? $130R, excuse me, getting drift right there. And into the Casio triangle, he goes off and into the grass, and it looks like that was all the pressure that needed to take place for Josh Worley, to go backwards, and Philip Sauzo to gain those positions. And what happened to Mr. Worley? He's gained back on track, dipping off into the pit lane right now. He must be to repair some of that damage that he's gotten so far. That little off is shaking up Kyle Hirsch and Anthony Kelly to be awful close together, about 4/10 separating them right now. And at turn 3, the snake, they go. Where have been the Green Lantern facts this race? Where have been the obscure random bits of information from chat? There was one Batman and Copper Penny joke. That was it. That's all I get. I'm disgusted. Anthony Kelly chasing down Kyle Hirsch still. About a half second back for him right now. Getting a little bit closer here. Green Lanterns once sold Green Lanterns for $1. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Wasn't Green Lantern like a... wasn't he an airline pilot? He was a pilot. Bartlett Sim Racing says, I looked into racing Wednesday nights. I work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and an oil platform makes racing really hard. I completely understand. No way to drag your rig out there. I mean, you could. You just wouldn't have internet, I would imagine. Which would not help the situation at all. But I appreciate you trying, appreciate you looking into Trackalicious and our sim racing that we have. We always have our SRO Community World Challenge as well. Here's Eric DePascacassi and chasing down Giovanni Wee. Is he going to make a look on the inside? I think he's going to have the legs to do so. And he is. Wow. Whoa! A little bit of a kiss in the butt in the background. Let's take a quick look and see what happened there. What happened to the drivers behind? I think this is Alex Freeman and Giovanni Wee. Oh, just runs into the back of him as he was going a little bit slower than anticipated. Ooh. Not the way you want it to go down. But just did not anticipate that slowdown, I think. Jace Rice chasing down Curtis Rustin. Mason Pierachowski doing work and chasing down Mr. Terekov. Here we go. 12 minutes left on the clock. But plenty of action still left to go. Neil Kerbel's he's taking his pit stop right now as I say that. Neil Kerbel, where does he fall down into the order? Second place, third place for him right now. He might end up falling right into this battle, right into Jace Wright's battle. Trying to go for a switch indeed. Jace Wright looking at Mr. Rustin. No, can't do it, doesn't have the legs. No, just kidding. Definitely has the legs. They're side by side right now. That's hub to hub. But that Lamborghini is pulling away by just a sniff. Oh, deep on the brakes for that Ferrari 296. Almost goes into the side of that Lambo. Takes action to self-preservation. Curtis Rustin. Whoa. Way to be a heads-up driver, as is even said in the chat. He is a good driver. Whoa! And that Fanatic liveried to car got a little bit of drift, and Curtis Rustin is going to catch right back up to Mr. Moss. Excuse me, Curtis Rustin's going to take us right back up to Jace Wright, excuse me. Let's take a look at Jace Wright right now. And in the background, you can see Neil Kerbel in 7th place, bringing that Lexus all the way to the front right now. Did a great job of doing so. Did anybody not take tires? No, I think everybody has taken tires from what I can tell. 30-second pit stop times for just about everybody. 10 minutes left in this race, folks. It seems like it's just started a couple of minutes ago. We're already at the end of our dance. Berchowski looking at the end of Terekov. Now he knows he's only got a few more laps remaining. If I'm not mistaken, we'll only get 4 more after this one. The 5 more laps will put us at 23 for the race leaders. I didn't ignore them. I saw he used to sell his lantern rings for dollar bills, y'all. I saw it. I just choose not to believe it. Professor Cornetto is chasing down Potts Weaver. Another livery that didn't come through. I apologize for you, Mr. Weaver. Staying in touch with the car in front is the most important thing. I can't look it up right now. There's racing going on. There's so much racing going on. I will look it up after this and apologize to you. I will look this up and apologize to you in general chat, okay, Adam Strange? I promise. I promise. Chronotis is going to try to make a move on Weaver here soon. Ricardo Rivera up at the front. 3 seconds drip from Luke Lozama, just to give you an update. Fastest lap of the race, still 1:59.3. That's for Mr. Lozama. 1:59.4 for Ricardo Rivera. Mattia Porto with a 1:59.9. Luke Lozama is going to come in and shake up this championship series really quickly. Darren Wicks hunting down Suezo, excuse me. Side by side, coming down the front stretch. Here we go, folks. No, this is the back stretch, excuse me. That's the F1 line. Or, excuse me, the Super GT line, and he goes through. Darren Wicks on Suazo. And into the final chicane. It's signed, sealed, and delivered for now. I know that fact, actually. That there was a parallax. Or am I thinking of a different series? I might be thinking of a different show. The Animorphs. I'm thinking of the Animorphs series. I'm sorry, Adam Strange. Uh-oh, Camacho is spun off into the background. Let's catch up on what happened to Mr. Camacho. Out on the curbs, he looks all right, just gets lit up. There's a slight crest there and then gets off onto the grass, and that's what did it for him, roasting those tires. Parallax is more than just a fun word. Parallax is displacement or difference in the apparent position of an object viewed along two different lines of sight. Huh. I swear, there was something in the Animorphs about them as well. About an aliens named Parallax. Fact check me, Adam Strange. Fact check me. Animorphs. The kids that could turn into, like, animals, obviously. That was a thing. That was totally a thing. And apparently the books were like totally vicious compared to what the TV show was. With the guy from Degrassi? I don't know his name. I just know that he was in Degrassi. And no, not Drake. Looking back, that's Curtis Rust. That's not. Oh, that is Curtis Rustin in the background in the 868, lurking and lingering about 1.5 seconds away. Take a look at the battle with Tarakov again and Pierchowski. There's Neil Kerbel out in front. Ooh, Neil Kerbel is getting hunted down now. This menage a trois is turning into a. No, the menage a trois is turning into a menage a trois. The two-way is turning into a three-way tangle. I stick by what I said, folks. Kuzya Tarakov, let's check out what he's doing with those wheel. Wow, that Lexus is not holding up well. It looks like he took tires, but it must not be so. That's so interesting. That Lexus is losing pace quite quickly. Looking at the last lap times, a 2-minute .6 for Neil Kerbel to the 2-minute .3s that Tarakov and Pierchowski's running. That's why they're catching so quickly, and it's catching fast. 3.5 minutes left on the clock, or just under. Luke Lozama in the lead, Ricardo Vera in second place, Mattia Porta in third place, Kay Moss in fourth place, Jace Wright in fifth place, Curtis Rustin in sixth, Kerbel in seventh. This is the battle for 8th, 9th, and 7th. Tarakov, Pierchowski, and top 10. That's Daniel Hirsch. Oh, big wiggle from Pierchowski in the Pinkmobile. Repping the I Beat Jake Wells at Bathurst team. I'm not sure that's an actual team, but I don't want to be fact-checked on that as well. Completely different lines for all three cars, making up speed in all different ways. Pierchowski's got the best view of this overtake that's about to happen. Tarakov squaring up Neil Kerbel out in front. The Lexus goes a little bit deep and wide. I think it has a big drift. It goes a little tiny bit sideways. As everybody just tiptoes through the final hairpin here, or the hairpin here. And in the background, Hirsch is getting chased down by Patrick Dubois. This is about to be a 5-way battle for the top 10 in about 30 seconds, folks. This will be their final lap, if I'm not mistaken. The leader has already crossed the line, so it should be final lap. One that will be called a little bit shorter than most. Kerbal defending as best as possible. Maybe trying to back up the 627 into Perchowski, so he has a little bit more breathing room. Lap times, 2:03.0, 2:03.9, 2:02.8. Everybody gaining a little bit on the driver in front right now. Nose to tail, let's look at Hirsch and Patrick Dubois. Here's another battle that's raging on, is going to stay closer than we expected. Someone wanted to see an AMG on the pole. This is the battle that'll keep it from happening. Patrick Dubois chasing down Hirsch. I believe even Dubois had, whoa, a little bit of damage from earlier as we see the Merc just go bouncy, bouncy like a little kangaroo. We're not at Bathurst anymore, don't you know, folks? Can't be doing stuff like that. And I think the number 11 is going to finish this race out. It is going to be the last lap, everybody. Luke Lezama finishing it out, crossing the line with his fastest lap of the race. That will do it for Luke Lezama. P2 is going to be Ricardo Rivera, Mattia Porta, K. Moss, Jace Wright, Curtis Rustin, Neil Kerbal in 7th place. Let's finish up the race with these guys. Here they come around to 130R. Don't forget to get in for an interview, folks, if you are able to do so. Neil Kerbal checks out right now on Terakov. Perchowski too far back to make a move right now. Dubois goes a little bit wide. Looks like the Mercedes goes a little bit deep in the background. Dubois trying to make anything happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in a row. This ain't go car go, folks. But it is going to be Neil Kerbal holding on to 7th place. Terakov in 8th. 9th going to Perchowski. And then 10th place going to Hirsch. 11th going to Dubois. Potts Weaver getting chased down by Professor Carnotis. A little wiggle to the line as 2/10 just separate them. And then Darren Wicks in 14th. Souzo, excuse me, in 15th. Kyle Hirsch in 16th. Anthony Kelly in 17th. Dean Stefani, Gwen's ugly brother. Then Eric Gukassian. Giovanni Wee in 20th position. Devin Anthony, Alex Freeman, Daniel Burritos, Joshua Worley, Anthony Camacho, Christian Julian, Anthony Lombardo, Julius Tan, all finishing this race. Down to 28th. We've only lost 4 drivers, I think. Carson Kass being one of them, unfortunately, in that other lovely Lexus. Amazing drive, everybody. Amazing work. I do want to pull some of you guys into the driver's room, so if you have a moment, please go ahead and come on down to the green screen. I'll drag you boys or gals in. Back to the studio while we wait to grab some people for the green room. Love to talk to Lezama if he's available. Love to talk to Ricardo Rivera if he's available. Or even talking to... who else? Neil Kerbal. I'd love to talk to Neil Kerbal as well. And that big defense that he had towards the end. But that is going to round it out for us here tonight. And I don't see anybody eagerly getting to the green room. Daniel Hirsch, I'll also take you if you'd like to get in for your top 10. Mr. Hirsch. I think that's going to do it for us here tonight, folks. I think that's going to do it. Going once, going twice, sold. And that rounds it out for us here tonight for our GT3 West Coast Wednesdays round, everybody. Thank you so much for all the love. Thank you very much for all the support. Thank you guys very much for being here. Can't tell you how much we appreciate all of your guys as being here. And most importantly, you guys spend your time here. Let's send a raid. Give me someone to raid. Let's do it. Let's do it. Good call. Thank you for the reminder. Ricky Racing PR? No, he's doing what we're doing. Hard Luck Clutch. We're going to raid Hard Luck Clutch. Does that look okay? Cool. We're going to be rating Hard Luck Clutch, everybody. Thank you very much for the reminder. Thank you very much for all of your love and support. Thank you very much for being here, everybody. I can't tell you how much it means to me. And with that, good night, and we'll see you guys in 1 week's time for the next West Coast Wednesdays. Be safe, everybody. Bye.